Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about that book I mentioned in my first video. Remember it? If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I suggest you check out the previous video first. There I talk a little bit about myself, why I create this channel and what kind of content you can expect around here. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like this video and share with a book-loving friend. There is a new video every Tuesday. And your support really helps me grow our community of passionate readers. Now, let's get into today's video, the very first episode of It's Page Worthy, a series here on the channel where I review books that made me think, feel, and in one way or another change the way I read. I will tell you whether or not the book is truly worth the read. The book we're talking about today is The History of the Siege of Lisbon, or in Português, História do Cerco de Lisboa, by José Saramago. And no, it's not just about a siege, and it's not just about Lisbon. This is one of those books that has layers. You start reading one story, then suddenly you are in another. And when you realize it, everything is connected. That's so Saramago. The book begins with a brilliant premise. A proofreader named Raimundo Silva is working on a historical book about the Siege of Lisbon, which happened in 1147, when Christian forces took the city from the Moors with the help of the Crusaders. But Raimundo on impulse adds a single word, not, to the original text, completely changing the meaning of that historical event. In his version, the Crusaders didn't help the Portuguese. From that small editorial rebellion, the story splits into two layers. Raimundo's present-day life, as he deals with the consequence of his decision and goes through a personal and emotional transformation, especially after meeting his new editor, Maria Sara. And the alternate history he begins to imagine and write based on that single note he inserted. It becomes a kind of historical what if that blends reality, fiction, and imagination. José Saramago explores themes like the power of words and authorship, how history is built and who gets to tell it, the blurry line between fiction and truth, love, loneliness, autonomy, and desire. The book mixes historical fictions with metafiction, romance, and deep reflections on truth, all told in Saramago's dense, ironic, and unmistakable writing style. Speaking of each, his writing is very distinctive. Long sentence, unconventional punctuation, and dialogue blend into narration. It demands your attention, but the payoff is worth it. When I read this book, I remembered it was the first time I truly felt challenged to go beyond the surface of the story. Each layer, each shift in point of view made me wonder, what does this mean? Why this choice? This book taught me to read differently, not just follow the plot, but to really reflect on how the story is told and what lies between the lines. It inspired me to seek books that challenge me, that push me to think. It felt like discovering that reading can also be a puzzle. So now the big question, is it worth the page? To me, it was worth every single one. It's not an easy read. Saramago's style is unique, but if you allowed yourself to get into his rhythm, the reward is huge. If you enjoy books that take you out of your comfort zone, this one's for you. And if you have never read anything by him, this might not be the easiest place to start, but it's definitely one of the most fascinating. One cool thing is that this book is available in both Portuguese and English. So if you are learning either of those languages, it can be a great challenge. Rereading a book you already know, but in another language, helps with fluency because you can focus more on vocabulary and structure. Just a little tip. Let me know in the comments, have you read this book or do you want to? And more importantly, what book changed the way you read? Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, and follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks for watching till the end. And remember, I'm not right or wrong, I'm just sharing my humble reader's opinion. See you on the next page, the next video. See you soon!